huge upgrade that costs 100 food, which is crazy. We just got that for free for building this tile.
My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to part 2. It's your boy Z here. We're picking it back up. We're in the middle of playing China on Ozymandias, and we're just going to jump right back in. So we're going to spend 25. We're buying this one. Super good. You'll see why. And then plus 7 to grab the first flag tech. So we would only need 32. All right, that sounds good. So we'll get 32 science next turn. Let's see how they expand. We can see these guys are slowing down on their food. They're not getting as much. We're very food rich. And they took that. And remember, they took that because they had all 3 of these tiles surrounding it. So that means that they're going to be able to take it. But it's worth fighting for. It's worth giving it a shot and see what we could do. Sadly, we didn't come out on top. 3 flags. That's not so bad. This build a city 5+ spaces away. That's kind of hard to do, honestly. I struggle to, because if you look, these cities here, they look kind of far apart, but that's only, it's a little bit easier to count when you do it like this, but that's only 1, 2, 3. I don't even know if it counts as 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles apart. So I would have to build a city maybe here. The next closest I could do could be headed up into these mountains. I could build a city up here, which honestly I might end up doing, but we'll see. The other alternative, getting the flag text. There are some forests around I could place, but how much do I really care about this flag text? Not at all, because I don't care about forests this game. So we can see, I think this, we could even just give it a shot if we wanted to. I think this is only 4 squares away though. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's not gonna give me the upgrade. I'll have to build it here. And you can see that it costs actually 30 to build a city on hills. Just hills are more expensive. All right. So now we can finally do what we wanted. We've got 27 grassland. That's actually insane. I don't know if I had that much grassland to start. We'll hover this here and look at the bottom. Look at my yield each turn. Right now, we're getting 11 from all the resources. You know, the city, the 1 hills is giving me a little bit. When I hover this, I'm going to be getting plus 27 from all of these, because each of my grassland tiles will start giving me a knowledge. That's so good, because that's just going to snowball us into the next bucket, into the next one, and that's going to help out. Remember, we also researched that and make the flags a little bit cheaper, because we want to kind of run a little bit up the top here. All right, what else can we do? We see they've researched the grassland power, so if we were to put a flag here, we're probably just throwing away 5. However, here, even though they might put a flag there, we've got 3 surrounding it, so we're pretty good on throwing a flag down right there. What else do we want here? We've got the forests. I know I've been kind of ragging on the forest, but we might start grabbing them. We definitely might start grabbing them. I think I want to keep trying to just be greedy on these hills. I'm not going to take these, because if I did, they would claim them. Blue would get them if we both tried to stake a claim. And then my city is actually claiming this tile. I don't know why I didn't think about that before. That's probably why red has never expanded there, because if we both did it at the same time, I would get it. Here, okay, they both have power in the grassland. If I put a flag there, one of them might not even take it. So we're not going to waste our time there. We're going to go ahead and claim the plains. I like that. And then can we get any other sneaky things? If we claim this forest, that's not so bad. We've got a good claim on that forest. We also got a forest there. We've got 8 food, so let's try to let's use it up as best we can. We'll go all the way to 0 if we do it like that. So now back here, look at this. Look at this. With no investment in anything, we're going to get 38 science per turn now. Remember, we were only getting like 6 last turn. This thing's crazy. So this is why it's always good to check this, though. If we had 38 science next turn, that's not useless, but that we need 40. We're going to be right underneath that breakpoint. That's going to be devastating if we had to wait a whole nother turn just to hit that breakpoint. So we're going to check it in here. We're going to make sure we got 40 science on there. And we want to look again. Are we going to be expanding these mountains? Probably. So maybe we want to grab another flag. Maybe we want to spend a little bit more, go up to 52. Do we want to get both of those flags? Maybe. There's an argument for that. How much food would we be getting? 32? Remember, it cost 30 to build a city on there. And that would give us this +1. Oh, this is +1 population, by the way. I don't know if I explained that. So when you build a city, remember this one grew as 2 when we built it. If we threw a city down here, it's 5 spaces away. That's going to come out as 3. And that's going to be throwing some power, remember? Because this thing, 3 really, it's a big difference in the amount of power it puts out. It might help us claim some things. So, all right, it's decision time. What do we want to do? I think that we're going to want, I think we might want a little bit more food. I don't know if we're going to actually claim. I don't think we're going to build that city next turn. I don't think we would, because that would... Ooh, this is tough. This is where you got to like kind of see in the future. So if we were to do this, if we were to go right here, do 70 on this, we would have 41. If we built a city here, that would then give us, because it costs 30, that would even give us 11 left over. Is that going to be enough to claim a mountain if we've got a city close by? It probably would be. It probably would be. All right, let's give it a shot. I might be wrong. I might be calculating this wrong here, but I think this might be the best way to use our resources just on this turn here. It'll give us a little bit more fight in these hills too. Ooh, this is interesting. So we can either get the free mountain flag, which might help us out. Let's go ahead and let's click that one. We'll click the eraser in a second. So that's going to give us the equivalent of 14 food, which is pretty big. And remember, we're throwing in our money into there. Pretty big time. So let's see what this would look like. If I were to build a city here, that's going to reduce these things down to 8. It's way easier for me to claim. And look at this, because it's a 3 pop, like I said, we're throwing all that influence. Now all of a sudden, I'm winning these battles for this. Oh man, and which means I might not even want to do this money yet. I might just want to claim all this tiles. So we might change our strategy a little bit here in order to claim those. Not the most efficient use of my resources, to be honest. Maybe I could have done a little bit better to save some more food. Let's see what we could do. We could take a lot of these tiles here, and that's definitely what we're gonna do. Definitely what we're gonna do. And it's not good to hold. Okay, the other thing, we want to look at what we're gonna be getting. Remember, it's not good to like hold extra, even 17. We're just throwing away 4 knowledge for no reason. So I like to try to see, all right, what can we do with 17? We could buy flag techs. We're probably not going to be expanding into a whole lot more area. We might take this forest. You know, we're going to take the little things. But honestly, getting this extra power might start to really help. And we are all grassland based. So it might just be nice to start at least defending my grasslands a little bit by having a little bit extra power there. Let's see what we're going to do here. We're going to claim these 2. I'm going to throw down this flag, claim that one. This one's not contested. He would have to be a madman to go for this flag. And he might be. He definitely might be. But we should take all of those. What am I going to do here? If I were to spend 10, I should still have enough to... I still want this. I still want that, remember, so. Let's see. Where do I want the food? Ooh, that's actually a good point. So at this point in the game, remember, so much of what I'm spending my money on is just going straight into food. So if I can actually save up my science in order to just grab food rather than buying this upgrade here, it's cheaper, it's easier to get the money, but I could just be getting way more food. So that'll give me more cities, more tiles to get more. So let's go ahead, let's leave it where it's at. Gonna be wasting a little bit. Okay, let's see. No, we're gonna grab that. We're gonna grab this power. I want it. It's gonna put us right at 51, so we still have enough. Yeah, we're totally floating. We're floating on this. They're gonna be grabbing a couple tiles. I'm seeing they're not catching this mountain, so there's a chance I might be able to just sneak it. Flag tech, not really that useful. Like I said, we're not really expanding. I'm going to take that. And then when I expand into these hills, maybe I'll wait a little bit, grab it in some time. All right, we want to just keep eating. So we're going to upgrade that. All of a sudden our food upgrade, I mean, that's going to increase our food upgrade by 28. That's crazy. That's seriously, I can't express how high that is. And then we're going to just keep taking what we can. So these were all +2 for us, which is really nice. But now we're getting, that's actually even. That's even Stevens because my city's casting out in there. However, remember, like I said, when you own the borders, +2, or when you own the borders and you're even, you actually win. So could be worth the grab. Do we want to expand another city anywhere? We might want to plop a city. I'm going to try to sneak this. What are the chances? I definitely wanted to put these two. So let's see if we still have enough for a city. We could put a city. This would kind of show me up some here. Red, like I said, they are going to go aggro soon. So we might end up wanting to put a city here. Help me claim a little bit of these forests. Or maybe we're putting the city just right here. And reduce a little bit of the forest too. Alright, we're going to actually restart this turn. Because now I know I want a city, I think here. And that might reduce some of these costs. I think it might have... Does it reduce that? Let's see. Doesn't it? Oh, it reduced that cost barely. Okay. But you know, you want to make sure you're using your resources well. So we're gonna try to sneak that one. And that's gonna be our turn. We're gonna grab that food again, and then we're gonna see, all right, what do we want? Next turn, if we can, honestly, money would be crazy good. So that 40 would be the best one still for us. And we definitely have that. What else do we want to do? Do we just want to keep getting more food? We might just want to keep getting more food. And this is getting to the point of the game. Once people have started kind of expanding out as far as they're going to go, this is where they start throwing out military. So you want to be ready to have a little bit of military here. So we see next turn, if they were to do something, I got 40 in the bank next turn. So I'd be ready to bounce back because I could hit back on them. Let's see, what else do we want? Wow, to upgrade these powers, they are not joking. That's not a thing here? Oh wow, okay, that's just normal price. But we upgraded, the first one cost 10. Now the next one would cost 30 if we were going to upgrade our power again. So it gets expensive. You know what, I think we're probably fine. Just leaving it in the food. We've got no waste. No reason to really pay to reduce your waste as well when you're not wasting anything. Why would I spend money? I mean, you're kind of you're wasting your money to reduce waste when you don't have waste. That might be a little bit short-sighted. That's just my opinion right now. That might change, I guess. Ooh, this is pretty big. If we built another city on the grassland, we get a yield tech for free. We're definitely taking that. Forest, we've got like no forest. So, and we're always going to take the most expensive. Even if it's not the best at the time, we're always taking it. So if we build a grassland, which we're definitely building a grassland city this turn, 100%, we're going to take that most expensive upgrade. And I think we're just going to throw a city down right here. It's cheaper. It's by that ocean. So we're going to smack that. We're going to get that huge upgrade that costs 100 food, which is crazy. We just got that for free for building this tile. And now with that, you know, we got our influence. Maybe we want to shore up some borders a little bit more. Always getting these hills. Hills are very valuable. And then I'm actually gonna grab this. This is interesting, but grabbing this flag will allow me to actually buy fleets, which maybe I won't need, but it's a thing to keep in mind. As you buy armies, they get more expensive. The price goes up. You can see it's 40 now, but it's gonna cost 70 after I buy it. And the price of fleets goes up, or the price of armies goes up, also the price of fleets goes up. So if you buy like 3 or 4 armies, it's going to be super expensive. It's way cheaper to buy a fleet. Another thing to keep in mind, armies and fleets, that's a victory point right there. That's a dub. So you might need to grab 5, and it might be good to have a little bit. So grabbing this gives me the option of building a fleet if I wanted to, because it's an ocean tile. You can only build them on oceans. Let's look what else we got power on. We got here. If we do there, we lose. So maybe we don't. Maybe we don't do there. But I think I could build a city. Try to take it. He's probably not going to put a tile there. He might be a little crazy. But I might put another city here. Because look at this. The reason why I'm neglecting these forest tiles, they just don't output a lot when they're fully upgraded. And I could also just take them later with my army. So let's see. Let's try it. Let's put a city there. And then now what do we got? Now we're even Stevens, but I got the border. So I'm going to assume he's not going to go into that one. He might. He might. We might have to punish him a little bit for it. All right. And then we said we wanted this. We most definitely do. It's a wonderful amount of gold. And then we don't really have anything else to buy there. Let's go ahead and start planning. What's the next? Well, we've got 8 hills. How about we start looking at the hills? We start upgrading those. And then as we get into the second part of the game, you're pivoting into upgrading cities to increase this population. You really want to start getting into these upgrades here. We're going to start getting a lot of science. So we want to try to hit probably 50, I would say. Well, the food is pretty good. But if we can hit 55, I'll take it. If we get 62, maybe I'll do the food. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're outputting 62 just straight up. So we'll decide that next game, or next round here. Let's see. We're going to claim some more hills. We don't need money right now. We really don't. So we can save this till we max out. Like I said, you can only hold 3. So the only other thing that we might want to do is to pre-buy an army. But we'll have enough to buy an army next round if we wanted to. Because do we want the food? Or do we want an army? We're spending all our money just to get 20 food. I don't know if that's worth it. It might be worth it to grab the army here just to be ready. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually plant the army right here. And that's going to give me, a little bit extra power. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. You can kind of think about these armies. They work in a similar fashion to the cities where they radiate their power. And how much power do they radiate is determined based on this right here. How much you've got. I've got 1. So this army is going to radiate 1 power. So that's why this tile right here, that unit's radiating 1 power. My city's radiating 1 power in that spot. So it's going to get 2. And now we actually guaranteed the claim on there. And I think that might be worth 20 food. I think that might be worth it. At least at this stage in the game. Let's see what happens. Go ahead and click play. Put down my flags. Where are they claiming? They're claiming right here, and I think that we capture that. And then they put a city here. They might claim that. Let's see what happened to that one. Build a city on a forest to get a yield tech. Could be interesting. Or conquer a grassland space. There will be grassland spaces conquered. That's almost guaranteed. But I might want to build a city on a forest. Probably more likely to do that in the short term. Let's just go ahead and take it. And we actually claimed it because I bet you we had more tiles touching that one. So we had the same amount of power, 2 cities touching right there on that forest, but I get it. Pretty cool. And look, they didn't claim it because they knew there's the odds of them taking this so low because if I put a flag, it'd be guaranteed mine. That's why these haven't been taken either, because somebody's got some claim. Maybe. I don't actually know about that second part on there. Let's see. So we could get plus 10 food. That's pretty cool. That's definitely, food's huge in the early game. But if we spend for 62, but if we were to spend 55, we're getting plus 10 knowledge and plus 10 gold. That's pretty dang good. Especially this part where we're kind of pivoting into buying armies. Let's go ahead and do that. Because remember, the more knowledge you get, the faster you get the knowledge again in order to upgrade your bigger things. So now we're yielding 72. We're going to be getting 87 next turn, just flat. That's so big. Okay. So we're going to be we might be upgrading up to here. Our hills will start putting out tons of resources. We might grab for 80. We might start grabbing this, get some, 5 extra yield going out. Let's see what we got. I think we also, maybe we want to start throwing a little power in the hills because I kind of want to get a little cheeky. Take this extra one. Don't want him to have it. That's for sure. Let's try to claim all of those. Claim that one. So now we got all the tiles. Now it's all about building cities. Where do we want to build? Like I said, remember, the first time you place it, it gives you +2 pop. It's huge. These upgrades, they give you it's only +1. So to grow this city, I'd grow it from a size 2 to a size 3. It's going to be throwing my influence around. I'd actually probably claim these tiles if I were to upgrade this. Possibly good, possibly good. Actually, let's keep it. Let's keep it like that, right? How do we want to do this? 45. Yeah, I think it's just way better. If we build a city on forest, we get a yield tech. Is it worth it to spend the 30 just to get that yield tech? We'd be getting +5. We get some food back. It's interesting. Might be worthwhile. Oh, and the other thing to keep in mind, when you build a city here, this is actually going to go down. So it costs a little bit more to build on a forest. However, it removes that tile. So let's look. Right now I'm rocking 5 forest tiles. I build the city, I get the yield tech, so we're going to get the expensive one, obviously. But now I only have 4 because the city doesn't count as a forest tile anymore. And so it gives you a little bit more of an advantage. You want to build your cities on these forests because, like I remember, grasslands are super valuable, every one that you can get. So if you can park your cities on these forests, you're not removing those grassland tiles for just a city tile. But remember that at the end of the day, cities give you a ton down here. They give you so much when you upgrade this. So it's definitely worth it. Also, the defenses helps out like crazy. You want your cities. Don't get me wrong. And look, now we can build these fleets. You can see you can build it here. And it can also travel on these rivers. It's super expensive. You can see it actually costs food to move these units. Why does it cost so much food? 46, that's a lot. It's because I'm moving my boat across the water. So you can move your boat across like impassable land to get it to this river, but it's going to cost a lot of food. So I'm definitely actually not going to build that fleet. I was just checking it out. If I were to move this guy, you can see it's a lot cheaper, you know? So same thing happens though if I had an ocean in between me. I could move my army over there, but it's going to cost a lot of food. What do we want to do with this army? Do we need to do anything with it? I don't think we do. Now the question is, do we just want to buy another one? It's always good to get ready, to be prepared. We know that we're going to be fighting. Who do we want to fight? Red's probably going to be fighting us. We're the only really one they're bordering. They could try to go down south. Probably not going to do that. They're probably going to try to fight us. And if I can take out red, that would help me out so that I'm not so sandwiched. However, if I pick a fight with red, these guys are going to be fighting me too. So am I going to be able to win a fight am I going to be able to win this fight if I'm also getting fought from all these other sides? That's something to keep in mind. That's why it's really good to increase this power tab up here, because that's like you don't need a unit for that. Just naturally you're going to be getting that. Like I'm getting +1 power down here just from that grassland tech. It's got no city defending it. It's got no army, but it's got 1. It's going to make it just a little bit harder to fight. And this might be a little crazy, but I think we do want this. And to be honest, I don't know if we're going to fully try to take red out, but I think we want these mountains. Like I said, mountains are such a resource-rich tile, especially for late game resources where you're getting extra money in there, and they're hard to take. So if we can take all this river tile, we can take these mountains, we get access to this whole corner of the game that's not even touched yet. They will be expanding into there, so we could just be a thorn in their side and just start putting pressure on them, which I think is kind of what I want to do. Here's another cool thing. If there's not a city inside the region, let me get out of this so I can show it to you here. They only got 1 city in their whole border. If I were to have my army take these tiles here to where it cuts off, where it cuts off the border, you can't have any border that's not connected to a city. So if I were to take these tiles right here, all of a sudden these tiles would free up because there's no city on it. So they can't have claim. So then I can go in and they literally go back to revert to neutral, and you place flags and all that stuff again. So let's go ahead. We're just gonna have this here. I think we're gonna, if we park it, do we even have a shot about taking anything? What do they have again? They've got stuff in the thing that we're not gonna be able to take it. So I don't think we're gonna try to poke them yet. I think we're just gonna set it. Well, yeah, let's set it. We don't want to waste our food. We want to use it. So I'll just get these guys moved up, moved a little closer in there, and let's just make sure that we claim that one. Now we're making sure that we claim that unit. And you can see this hill tile. It's kind of hard to take. It's a little hard to take, but right now river tile's super easy to take. I'm gonna be taking that one if they don't do anything. They will do something. But let's see what they do. I'm the first one to have two militaries. That's quite fast. All right, he's probably gonna take that. Yep, he does. All right, now this is an interesting one on explaining a little bit on how the fighting works in this game. All right, right here, all forest shield techs halves the cost for units to move in forests. We don't want that. Why do I want that? Like I said, I've been saying it. The forest, there's just not that much here. And the unit move cost, that's going to be how much food it costs to move them across that tile. If that's at grassland, maybe we're looking at it. But right now, we know we want to conquer some hills, so we're gonna be fighting them hills. We're gonna be taking them. We got a few cities we can build. Honestly, not too many, so we definitely want to start scrapping. And take a look. So you can see this tile. It's got these squiggly lines on it. This is how combat works in this game. It's really interesting, but it's all about this radiating power that I've been talking about. So I parked a unit here, and he's only, on power 1, so he's only got 1 power radiating out. But rivers, they're pretty much, they're not really well defended. They're not hills. They're not difficult terrain to take. They're very easy to take, actually. So even with just 1 power radiating out, you end your turn. And now next turn, it gets these squiggly lines because the unit was parked here. Now, if this blue, if the gens don't do something to increase the power of this square, there's 0 power right now. Versus, look at this mountain. We got 3. That's from the tech, from the hills. They got some defense there, so they're stronger than me right now in the hills. But if they don't do anything to increase the power of this squiggly line, if at the end of this next turn, if I have more power than them, then I'm going to actually take that tile and it will become part of my borders. And that's what I want. So what I'm gonna do here, and remember, like I said, if I cut them off of their city, then I'm actually gonna get all these tiles open back up again. So I'm gonna move this guy right here. And I'll come back to that in 1 second. Let me spend my other resources so that we can see what else we want to do this turn. So we got either money or food. I think we're probably gonna want food. Let's see, how much money we get in a turn? 88. We'd go up to 99 with that. It's interesting. We could get knowledge and money though, which that might even be better. We got 7 forests, so I've been knocking the forests, but that might be what we get right here. We might get money and here some knowledge. We also could save it, but I think we're gonna get the money and I think we're gonna get the forest knowledge. Wouldn't you know it? Just because we got more. We've got, rivers are better when they're fully upgraded, but we've got 5 rivers. We got 7 forests. So why not go ahead and upgrade the forest if it's going to give us more yield in the short term? All right. And then the next step here, we want to build, especially what I'm about to do, because I'm about to put a city here. And so now that just removed us. Now we only got 4 rivers. So now we definitely want, the forest was definitely the pick there. We could get a city up here in the hills. That could be good, but our hills are outputting a ton right now for us. So if we put the city, there's really no rush for that until we get these upgrades on our cities. Once we get those, then we'll start really pumping out some stuff. Because you can, I mean, imagine this, right? Right now, this one hill tile, it's giving me all of these resources. But when I put a city there, it's going to give me 2 population. So that's like this one tile is now outputting this twice. And then if I upgrade it again, it's out. That one tile is outputting this 3 times. So cities are incredibly efficient inside of that. However, on just the short term though, I don't know if I need that. So let's go ahead and upgrade our defenses. Where do we think we're going to get hit from? These guys are militant. They're all about power. These are imperialists. They're all about power too. But they're more about power technologies. This one's about units. So they're going to be a little bit easier to fight. Scholarly, what are they? Power costs more? Okay, so we're probably going to be getting hit from these guys. So we want to try to give ourselves the best shot at we can at defending. So we're going to upgrade this city. So now it's going to be throwing some more power out there. Now here's the next thing. The thing that I haven't really been doing with at all is this power spending. And this thing's huge when you pivot into these armies and fighting. So you can see that right now, I've got 2 units on this border. We're tied. You can't really make it out, but there's 3 black notches and there's 3 blues. So that means we're tied. That means he's good. Down here, he's got 2 blue, 1 black. So he's good. However, I can actually spend money to make these units stronger. And that's exactly what I want to do. He's got 3, I've got 2. So right now he's kind of outputting 2 power. So I want to beat that. I want to be able to, let's go up to 3. And if we got 3 power from each of these guys, it's going to be really hard for him to defend. And so we definitely want to do that for our power. We want to get 3. We don't want to overspend because remember, this is where the wealth and the wastes really start to come into play. If I were to spend a ton, if I were to spend everything in there, I could go up to 5. But in one turn, 80% of that's going to get wasted. So you don't want to start spending more than you need to. However, you don't want to, if you spend too little, then you're not spending enough. You're going to waste it that way too. So you want to make sure you've got enough. I might be able to get by if I just upgraded these guys to 2 power, but we're going 3 because we're going to go a little bit bigger. And I think it's going to help. The next thing that I want to do here, these upgrades might be nice. If I could start getting this, it's going to give me 19 science per turn. You want to think about this as a return on investment, which is a big thing. Why haven't I upgraded these rivers? It's only 20. I've had 20 knowledge before. Why haven't I been upgrading these plains? It's only 30. I've had that. But when I'm upgrading only 4 river tiles, this is going to take 5 turns to pay me back before I start actually getting to use that research into other things. It's just not enough. If I were to upgrade this, it'd be taking 30 turns to pay me back here before I can start using it. Eventually, I'm probably going to get that. However, if I were to upgrade down here, it's 19. That's only going to cost something like, 7, 8 turns to pay me back. Right? No, I think it's going to be maybe a little bit more. I don't know. It's going to be 7 to 9 turns, I guess, to pay me back here. That's not bad. That's pretty good on a return on investment. I mean, it's way better than this 30 here. The 5's not bad. I'm actually probably going to get into that at some point here if I've got leftovers. But we were rocking hills. That's good. I mean, this is really good for food. So we're gonna be checking that out here in a little bit. But let's see what we want to do. So we want to get 150. Can we get 150? We're spending 18. That's going to put us down to 68. Can we do 68 into there? And we barely get there. That's actually a really good turn if we can do it. And you can see we don't need to upgrade these wastes because we're only wasting, we're wasting very little. So it's just not worth it. Let's see them throw an army out. They're definitely going to want to do that. So we got red. They're on the field. Blue still armyless. Okay, you can see what they did. So they built a city up here because like I said, if I cut them off, they know that they would lose that whole city. They would lose all this area. So they're going to build a city just to try to hold on to that. Cities are a little bit harder to take, but I can take that city. And that's exactly what I'm going to try to do. So let's see what we got. Opportunities here. This one's interesting. You spend 30 gold to get a random amount of research. It's going to be really cool. Sometimes it's really low. it's not worth it. Sometimes it's super high. Something that's actually kind of fun that you can do because of this reset thing. Not even gonna lie to you, I literally just thought about this. It doesn't change. It's a random amount. So if I buy it, I got 35. I got 35 science. And if I sell it and I do it again, it's always gonna be 35. You see it, it's popping up over there on the right. Take another look here. 35. You see, it doesn't change. However, that's less than half. And what you can do is you can decide, is that worth it for me to do? I can just click the eraser and I can go back. It doesn't make a difference. So you're kind of doing a gamble, but not really. So if you click this and you get 100, then definitely take it. I'm getting 35, which is a little bit better, than this. However, it's, we don't really want a little bit better. We want something that's pretty good. And if we doubled our food yield, we'd reduce our waste. Now, that's interesting. How easy is that to do? To go up to 100 something food yield? I don't know if that's going to happen. 162? I really don't know if that's going to happen. Because in order to double that food yield, I would have to be conquering these spaces. How are we on spaces on the map? Oh, we're only half. Oh, we're going to need some spaces here. The mountains don't put out a lot of food, and I'm trying to take those mountains. All right, let's check out another thing. So I know that it's only going to be 35 this turn, but what if I waited next turn? What would that give me then? Does it change? I have no idea. Let's find out. So if I hold it, but I don't cash it out yet, let's see what happens. So I am going to go ahead. You can only hold 3. This is the max. And I don't want to just lose an opportunity card. If you draw a new one when you've got 3 already, then you have to discard one. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to claim this. I'm going to go ahead and get my wealth from my mountains here. We're going to keep chugging along. Boom. 19 extra science per turn. Huge. He's starting to take me, actually. I don't know if I'm cool with that. And you can see my mountain. We got that little defensive tech in there. We got everything going. They're a little harder to take. Plains are easier to take, which is why he's able to do that. I don't think I'm down for that, though. How much is it going to cost? 100 to get in there? I think we might do it. How much do I need? 3. Okay, what if I did 100? Move them into here. And these things, they radiate in a circle around it. So once this unit's here, you can actually see it's started to protect it. This map can be a little bit tricky though, because remember, it's using your power of this turn. And you can see if I didn't spend any money in there, I'm going to go back down to 1. And so this is not what's going to happen next turn. This is what would happen this turn. So it can be a little misleading, and it's something you really want to look out for. But thankfully, I'm going to actually increase my power. Here's a little something neat. This city, we got, red's at 3 power. If I can bump this guy up to 4, I'll actually be winning. And then I'll be able to take that more likely. And like I said, you don't want to spend more than you need to, but 4 is actually right on the edge of what I need to spend, which would be really good here. All right, now that we're getting this, I think we can start. We really want to start upgrading these cities. We want to let them cast their power out further and further. And we're going to do it on the borders here, especially on the borders with the red, because I'm not worried about red, but I'm most concerned, most thinking about red because they're the first one to throw out the units. Got some units here. They're far away. They're not going to mess with us. They're going to have, if anything, they're going to be a thorn in their side, which will help me out. And I think we're good. Yeah, we're going to put all that money into there and let's see what happens. And remember, so these squiggles came, so he doesn't just immediately take it. You get a shot to defend, and that's what he's going to do. He's trying to defend, but I upgraded my power. I went from 3 to 4. He wasn't ready. Now all of a sudden I got those tiles. He put something in there, but maybe they didn't spend enough. So we'll see. All right. Conquering a river space gives me some stuff. That's cool. Halves unit cost in mountains. It's pretty nice. I only need, I got 3 out of 4 yield techs. I only need 1 more. It's the food one. I'm probably going to be picking that up pretty soon anyway. Like that. And then look, now we've got this big power radiation coming out here because it's all these tiles. and I'm beating them. I'm barely beating that city. So we're gonna see what we're gonna see what we can do. Right now, I'm very beating that city. I'm gonna make sure I do because I'm actually gonna move this here. 2 units, they both project power. So look at this. Look at how much power I got now because both of my units are throwing it. That's crazy. That's where it really starts to just become overwhelming. Let's take a break from the war real quick to take a look at what we're gonna upgrade. And we're gonna be super duper cost effective. I'm gonna undo my turn because I am gonna get this, and then now this little move is gonna cost like just barely less, and that's a very small amount of min max. That move might have cost 4 when now it costs 2. Very small amount of min max, probably irrelevant, but it's small little things like those that can really give you an edge in the long term. All right, next thing I want to do, +1 gold for each city pop would be great. I'm not going to hit that organically. It's a little bit far out, so I think it's better to, I don't want to have to wait on that for a couple turns. I want to get some of these smaller return on investment upgrades. So we're going to see, we've actually got some river tiles that we're going to be taking here soon. This is all, well, that's a city, but this is all river tiles here. We're going to be taking those from them. So we can start looking at, it's 5 right now, but we're probably going to get some more in a bit. 8's pretty good. I like it. I'm going to take that. Here we go. And then do we want money now or do we want science for the future? Honestly, at this point of the game, we're all about that money. We're fighting wars. We need money. We want to take some cities. And we got this guy down here. Are you kidding me, bro? What do we got? What's the city radiating out? It's level 2. If we upgrade this to level 3, I think we actually might be able to hold this tile. If they don't, let's see what happens. Now we're even. Yep, because this is 3. This is a 3 population. It's saying 4 power, but that's because it's got a defense bonus from some of my upgrades. But remember, because it's actually I don't know exactly why it's showing it, but the city is a 3 population, so it's radiating 2 power, 1 power. So it's radiating 1 power there, and then if they don't upgrade it, they honestly, they probably will upgrade it. A lot of times they do. Like what I'm about to do right now, I'm repping 4 power, and I just don't even want to play. I want this city. Do I want to spend all this money on it though? Do I need to? Let's ask the reverse question. What happens if I save the money? Does anything really particularly good happen? I could spend it more on food. Right now I've kind of got food I don't really know what to do with. I could save it, spend it more on knowledge. That would be fantastic, but I can't actually hit any of my big knowledge breakpoints. I can't hit 250. I mean, could I? I could, but I would be spending, I would have to stay at 4 power. I don't like barely winning the fights because that gives them a chance. You give this turn, right, of these squiggly lines. Next turn, if they upgrade, they do more power than me, I'm going to have to wait a whole nother 2 turns because I'll show you what that looks like. But basically, I'm at this squiggly line turn. Next turn, if I'm winning, I get the tiles. If I don't get the tiles, then that means that these squiggly lines go away. I have to do a whole nother round of getting the squiggly lines. Then, so it takes 2 turns there. I'll try to see if I can describe that a little bit better. And with that, we'll call it the end of part 2. Pick us back up for part 3. Thank you for joining. Ozymandias, baby.